Oh, this very special episode of Cinema Swirl is brought to you with the support of our backers over at patreon.com/Cinema Swirl. $5 OTP backers get instant access to every episode of our monthly exclusive bonus show, Cinema Swirl, where Kevin and I review bad movies. And this month, in fact, right now, we've reviewed Junior. Yeah, the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger's pregnant and Danny DeVito's his little mate. What a fascinating film. What a fascinating chap. If you want to hear that, plus 80 previous episodes of Cinema Swirl and a bunch of other bonus bits and bobs, head on over to patreon.com/Cinema Swirl to find out more. All right, let's get swirling.
Cinema Swirl! Fuck me, mate. It's episode number 138. Coming to you from the literal imminent birth of the child of Hollywood, California. I've got a wife literally through that wall there, right behind me.
Okay.
And she has been told that it is slightly too early to come into the hospital, but she'll probably be going, well, this needs to be, Sam, not to be too dramatic, this needs to be a short one, all right? That's all I'm saying.
There's a bunch of new Pepsi flavours that have emerged, and I thought now
Pepsi.
was the
Fuck
right
'em.
time.
No,
the mailbag
it's
is
not.
overflowing. Like, you wouldn't believe the amount.
Do you have any mail? Do you have any mail?
I've got one, but I don't think
Let's
we
fucking
should
go then. Let's do it. Come on.
Okay, let's go into the mail, but it doesn't matter what film, let's go into the mailbag. Right, here we are. We're in the mailbag. Thank you for your questions, queries, comments into cinemaswirl@gmail.com. Kevin.
Oh, I hate when he brings up his other podcasts. I hate when he brings up his wife. I hate when he brings up the space between contraction. Fucking get on with it. Come on.
Okay. This comes in, it's on Patreon. This comes in from Filthy Steve. I don't know what Steve's real name is, but Filthy Steve writes the following. Question, I've started taking my daughter, see, timely, relevant.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
To the cinema on a near weekly basis. Brackets, she is 7, so still not embarrassed to be seen out with me. The question is...
why am I going to be rendered to tears on a mailbag item from a man named Filthy Steve?
Thank you for subscribing, Filthy Steve. Thank you so much.
Does she like the movies that you go and take her to?
Well, the question is as follows. What age did you both start going to the pictures on your own? I remember being 10 and not getting into eight-legged freaks. Thanks, Filthy Steve. I don't really remember when I started going solo, or at least, with friends without parental.
I mean, I do remember a few heady summers in Galway heading down and trying to squeeze into the Omniplex when I was, 12 or 13.
Yeah, sort of.
But
that
I
sort
never
of time,
went, there's a difference between going in an intimidating gang of youths versus going on your own solo. I didn't go solo till I was probably 15 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And my child won't be going solo until at least they're half that age.
Yes. Yeah? All right, thanks for your mail into cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
Thank you.
I was probably about
Thank
11
you.
or 12, something like that. Thanks for your mail into cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Kevin, what film...
Sorry, I thought I heard the tens machine ramping up there, so I need to... No, it's just the dehumidifier. It's okay, it's fine.
Okay, but Kevin, as a fan of, and someone who has an eye on viral clips, this feels perfect for me. Podcaster has to stop recording because wife baby. You can imagine the captions.
She's not a baby. That's going to get me in all sorts of trouble. Frankly, I could do without as a father-to-be. The baby comes out and I'm in shackles, dragged away. Mr. Man, you're a highly inappropriate relation. And the fact that you choose to impregnate this baby is even more alarming to us at the NHS. No!
Well, that's the algorithm, fucks. You've said impregnate this baby.
No, look. I'll be honest, right?
Yeah.
And I need to get this out of my system before I go. When I was in the cinema recently, someone spent the entire time scrolling through Just Eat. Just scrolling through.
Yeah.
And that was to see The Bone Temple 28 years later. So if I have one wish as a dying father-to-be, it is that if you have any interesting bad things you've seen people look at on their phones...
In the cinema?
cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Or the socials, or the birthing centre, where I'll be, okay?
Now, people might be alarmed and think, Sam, why didn't you just suggest that Kevin not do this and not have to put himself through this situation? But Kevin himself was so dedicated to the pod and to the content.
I thought it would be funny, and I was wrong. I was wrong.
No, it is funny. I am slightly willing...
Stop laughing at me.
I'm slightly
Jesus.
willing for the big moment to happen. In fact, if you could sort of mock, get up and be like, oh, no, it's happening, and sort of like run out of the room. Oh, blah, 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 filmed. Well, we're going to have such a great time.
She's not even out of the womb. And TikTok is ruining her life. This is not the way I anticipated. Sam,
The numbers, Kevin, we'd get on there.
Do you know anything about Look Who's Talking, today's movie du jour?
No, I genuinely, I don't know anything about this. I promise. I literally know no. I don't know who's in it.
It's star-studded, Sam. Have a guess.
I assume a baby.
Pick a name.
It's not Sylvester Stallone again. It can't be.
Fuck me, come on.
I don't know. I know there's a baby talking, but the other one that we're going to do for Swirl at some point will be the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger's pregnant.
And in fairness, I'm actually quite excited because I thought it would have been wrong for me to review that movie, reckoning I know what the birthing experience is like, versus the harrowing piece of content that will be aptly behind the paywall for the real freaks to enjoy.
Yes. This is like pre-baby Kevin, and then the post-Swirl will be post-baby Kevin.
At this rate, it'll definitely be.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I hope so.
What a mad what a mad podcast this is fucking, to listen to.
This has happened to How To as well, because our recent NWO episode, we do the tweet bit afterwards.
Yeah.
She'll have a child then. It'll be all the energy is going to be all over the place on the content.
You and your child will love having this document to look back on in a few years and go, look how stressed your father was.
Aren't you happy that he managed to get some content out of this very important moment? As you all are. Yeah. Sam, do you reckon you like the movie?
Sorry, just who's that man laughing at Daddy? We don't talk about him anymore.
That's Rich Uncle Sam. He went viral on TikTok when he posted a video of a podcaster leaving in the middle because there's a birth coming.
I'm just thinking about from a PR perspective, this could be great. So I just want you to consider that.
And do you think you like the movie?
Yeah, well, I know nothing about. There's going to be a talking baby. It'll be like Boss Baby.
Do you think? Does that sound fun to you? Talking baby, talking. Yeah,
that's a laugh, isn't it?
Fair enough. Then is that any other business? Well, short laughs, Sam. I'm begging you, buddy. Short laughs.
And you're sure Joe's not? You know, you've not had the call. You don't have to run. You have to like sort of run out of the room.
I literally am. Look, right there you go. Guess what we're going to do now? We're going to go do a cinema swirl. Bye. And we're back. Sam, initial gut reaction to Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's all right, wasn't it? Anything happened in your life since we last recorded? Any changes? Any big moments?
I have one of these on my shoulder most of the time now, which is pretty good.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's handy just because I've noticed since having a child, I just go, bleh, and I want to catch my sick all the time.
Yeah.
So
Kevin's got a sort of tea towel on his shoulder.
It's called a muslin cloth, Sam. And I know what you're thinking. You can't call something that these days. You'd be locked up and thrown in jail. But no, we're traditionalists in this household. Look. If you don't want to hear that, if you're the type of person who gets wound up when I talk about other podcasts or
if you don't want to know the results
stuff,
now, look away.
When are they going to talk about Look Who's Talking? Why do you think we did that movie? Easy. It made $300 million at the box office. Don't judge, all right?
Smash, yeah.
But got a daughter now. Got a little child, and she's fucking amazing, and I love her, and she's roughly the size of a teddy bear, and you can feed her milk, and she'll go, you burp her. There's like all different ways to burp her.
Yeah.
She makes funny faces. We watched WCW Nitro together. She is great, and I'm sorry, I regret to inform you of the profound sense of love that I have, because I do have 4 podcasts in my life, but I also now have a child, which is almost as good.
Almost as good, not quite. Well, look, I'm happy for you, mate. Can we just move on and talk about the film,
Yeah,
please?
right, enough about that, yeah. And look, guys, patreon.com I know, just, or if you check out the socials as well, and obviously, and I have a child, we'll get all that out of the way. We'll get all out of the way, all right?
The socials. Child as well. Yeah.
Child as well, Although you can't send a message to Cinema Swirl through the medium of my daughter. No. We don't have the technology yet.
Don't try.
I asked, the doctor said, no, you're not allowed to do that. No, and stop trying.
Bloody millennial parents asking things like that. It's despicable.
Oh, is my child like a Pokemon Go? Stop shut up. That's not what they're for, all right?
Has she got Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay? Like what?
She's an I or baby, Sam, okay? Strong choice for a movie, this, Sam. Strong choice.
Yeah.
Bit of a roll of the dice, hoping that everything went well with the birth and the delivery and all that stuff when we started. A little bit close to the fire there, a little bit,
Sure, but everything did go okay and everything's fine, so that's
went well.
Great. Yeah.
She is actually downstairs with her. Who's he talking? But who is which? Themselves. The women, they're downstairs now, and sure, they're getting on like a house of fire.
They'll bloody gang up on you, mate. You're surrounded now, and you're outnumbered.
I'm only up here until the shed is ready for me to go out back,
Yes.
and tinker with my podcasts and whatnot.
Because parents, and indeed husbands, they just need to get away from children and wives, don't they?
That's why I'm happy to announce now, Sam, that I will be in MasterChef Professionals Season 12. I just thought, now that I have a 7-day-old baby at home, why not give it a crack? I want to see if I can test my mettle up against the best and boldest.
Explains the tea towel. I get it now.
And now that Greg Wallace is gone, it feels like an altogether safer endeavour. So,
Great. This film was weird, wasn't it? This was a strange one. Huh.
There's no easy way to segue from what was the biggest moment of my life into... You don't get font like that anymore, do you?
No.
That's the type of font you don't use for a movie. You use that to advertise discount fruit and veg down at a mart.
I love it, though. And it's quite rich coming from us, given the fonts on our logo. But it's not that level. But that is, fruit and veg font. It's quite nice, quite nostalgic.
Had you ever heard of this movie before? I was a little bit busy beforehand, obviously, but you'd heard of it. Inexplicably, and I did ask my parents to confirm this for me, this was one of my favourite movies when I was a youngster. I would insist on this being rented on video, this and the sequel, Look Who's Talking Too, and I don't really know why.
No, it's one of those ones that seems like it would be a sort of family movie, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, no, it's not at all. It's sort of...
Yeah, it's for the parents, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to kind of vicariously laugh at your child, and it did scratch the itch of, the 6-day-old parent being like, God, I wish someone could take her down a peg, Miss High and Mighty in her crib with her nappies and fucking formula and breast milk. Ooh, la-di-da.
There's a few big names in this that I didn't really know or anticipate. So your friend of mine, the wickedly talented one and only John Travolta,
who is spiritually is invoking early Jerry Seinfeld here, both in demeanor and dress.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be any movie with no kids. Hell no. Unless I can tame them, that is. Whoa. Kevin, lock up your daughter. You're talking about Jerry Seinfeld. No.
Kirstie Alley, who I don't know much about, no longer with us, was a Scientologist from what Wikipedia's telling me.
I did write down Kirstie Alley, didn't she go insane or something like that?
Okay,
and then that was just a sad couple of minutes on Google is all it was, wasn't it? But it was perhaps good to see the safe pairs of hands of the era. We're in the very late 80s, and I think This is as big a movie as you can get that can be completely erased from public consciousness in the 30 or so years that have come since it. It is almost marvelously impressive that the star power, the money it made, and the cultural cachet that it had completely evaporated. And I don't know if that's to do with Scientology or not, Sam.
No. Oh, is Travolta a Scientologist as well? Yeah. Is that yes? Yeah. Okay.
It is.
Do you think Willis is? Bruce Willis as voice of Baby.
Bruce, who is given a performance here, I'll give him that. But correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. When Bruce Willis is doing his lines in this movie for this baby, he gives the air of a man, a star no less, who's perhaps wearing sunglasses in the recording booth with one eye on the clock, and perhaps his full attention has not been given to the role in question.
Yeah, I don't want to bury the lead, but I think what they do with the main feature of this movie is simply not good enough. You have an opportunity there, and I feel like they've squandered it, and yet it was a massive success.
And there's someone here being like, well, in that case, Kevin, speaking of squandered opportunities, where is the baby? Is she not going to be on here? Are you not going to have her on and be like, what's her Insta handle? What about her letterboxd score? So there'll be none of that.
Yeah.
There'll be none of that.
Okay.
But listeners of Cinema Swirl and Cinema Swill over on patreon.com/Cinema Swirl can look forward to, in parallel to Sam's recurring feature of did this section of the movie get the dog stander up? Did this section of the movie get the baby stander up?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is no, nothing did. She's a very good baby. In the 90 minutes we watched this movie, she looked up maybe 3 or 4 times, had a gurgle, had a bit of a bottle, and then lay down.
Okay. Good new feature. Did this get the baby stander up? Yeah.
This is a chill baby, folks, so far. It has none of your erstwhile hosts, Kevin and Sam's, flair for the neonatal dramatic.
Yes.
As, we were both like, I was shit, man. I was like 26 weeks premature. I don't know, man. I just came out. I didn't even join. I was sperm and egg separate, and both the sperm and the egg were sick. And my parents were there. They were going, no, and trying to put them together. Yeah, this baby's she's fine.
Chill. Chill, baby.
And I'll tell you what, you've not seen a roller coaster drop from, look at the precious little baby, to when a midwife realizes that the baby is in fact quite healthy and fine. They become a lot less interesting to a midwife when they're just fine, And have they managed to feed? Yes. Oh. All right, fine.
That's a good day's work. It's easy, nice and.
It is.
I shouldn't say that a midwife's job is ever easy. I shouldn't be fine.
But I'm sorry she didn't provide the adequate challenge for you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry she wasn't the Dark Souls of babies. Okay.
People always ask about the weight of the baby. Heavy baby, or standard issue baby.
I've been given a few numbers, but the problem is, Sam, is that there's all different types of midwives. There are nice midwives, there are mean midwives, there are cold midwives, there are warm midwives. They're all great midwives as well, don't get me wrong. It's just there's metric midwives and imperial midwives.
And Calvin Harris loves all of them.
Now, if I type in Calvin Harris controversy, will I regret laughing at that joke?
No, I think you're fine. Yeah. Okay. It's more that he had a song about liking older girls.
Look, all I can say is that, and as a father of a girl now, I resent that, okay?
Sorry,
I will say that the baby is a fine size.
Okay, great, yeah.
Fine size. Long baby.
Yeah.
Long baby.
Oh, I have more baby questions, but we should get into film, shouldn't we?
Let's get into film, and you can pepper them in throughout, and I will happily entertain any baby-related questions as long as they're in the form of a movie question on cinemaswirl@gmail.com or the socials.
That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com, or the socials, or the Patreon. So, right, we've got Travolta, Ali, Willis, star-studded. The way that we open here, it's a kind of egg and sperm montage intro.
Your typical egg and sperm race, isn't it? I'm redoing these at school sports day. Although in Ireland we had the potato and sperm race instead, unfortunately. I did like the very tactile, practical effects of the late 80s here, where the egg took its place as the true mysterion of the reproductive cycle, floating around ominously with its light emanating from all corners.
Yeah. It's an interesting start, especially with that font over the top of it. I'm not familiar with Amy Heckerling as a Writer-director?
She also did Look Who's Talking 2.
Okay, yes.
And Sam, I'm not talking about the number 2.
Two. T-O-O. Yeah.
Do you want to guess who voices the second baby in Look Who's Talking 2?
Oh, so we got Willis.
Yeah. Who could stand up to a powerhouse like Willis?
Samuel L. Jackson, I reckon, would probably be
Roseanne Barr.
Oh, okay. They didn't have enough controversial people in the film. Okay.
The baby took some medication and said some things that they regretted, and then all the right-wing people coalesced around her and gave her a special, and then in the special all she did was go, we're killing our kids! Talk about hating your husband again. Talk about jeans.
That wasn't Kevin's baby perking up. That was an impression of Roseanne.
That wasn't my baby. That was the medication she took talking. That's what that was, okay? Look who's talking. It's the medication.
Okay, the kind of opening sort of impetus of this movie, Molly, our main character, played by Kirstie Alley, she's an accountant, and immediately it's established she's having an affair with her big client who's married. The way they're talking about this affair and the effect on his wife starts a bit silly and then gets quite horrible. And that's a kind of recurring theme in this. And I know it's of its time, but there's some real words and things they talk about that are not ideal for sort of a light-hearted movie about babies talking.
Because this is PG after all, and it was, of course, Baby Kevin. It is, yeah. Baby Kevin's
a lot of talk of fucking in this one. A lot of, like, my wife's big ass, and it's spunk everywhere.
They didn't have Predator in the video store, we would rent Look Who's Talking for Kevin to enjoy, or an Ernest movie, any of those, and I'd be very fine. Here's my question for you: with this talk of having an affair, if you're single and the person you're seeing is in a relationship, are you having an affair?
You are in an affair.
You're in an affair. I don't dispute that, but are you having an affair? Because I feel like that feels like having an affair implies you're cheating on someone. That's what I thought.
But she is single, but he's married. An affair is being had.
It's all very adult. Yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated. They don't really dig into that. We don't see them have sex. It's implied that they do, and then we see the sperm coming out on its way.
Yes, and as all sperm that is ejaculated comes out too in modern times, it's set to the Beach Boys, isn't it?
Lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought the soundtrack of this movie was absolutely fantastic, and the selection of the Beach Boy classic, Surfer Sperm, was great. Everyone loves that. And I don't know why, but you probably could have asked Brian Wilson in 1991, because of the strong medication he was in fact on, what his favourite movie was. He would have been like, I like Look Who's Talking, man. That's a cool movie. Yeah, all the babies talking, all the sperm going around. That's real cool, man. It's kind of like magic. Do you know what his actual favourite movie was?
What was it?
Norbit, man. I like Norbit. That's a cool...
No, it wasn't Norbit.
It's a cool movie. I swear to God,
fucking hell.
And it's a shame he didn't live long enough to see the review on the Patreon page. No, anyway, there you are. A lot of chatter with these sperm. They're kind of like podcasters in a sense, aren't they? They're all like those American podcasters.
Oh, they keep talking.
Keep talking over each other. No, stop now. We've something to promote and plug. Now we've got an untested product or service. Everyone, let's give each other space now for these few minutes. And back to the crosstalk.
There's a lot of weird implications in this film because the winning sperm is voiced by Bruce Willis. The rest are like, bah, 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 bah. And he's like, come on, yeehaw, dig in, kids. But he is voiced. What does that mean? What does that imply?
I would have thought the egg would have had a voice in this as well.
No, women are silenced, but the sperm.
Don't call eggs women. This is feminism 3.0. Me and Sam are standing up for the eggs as well. Someone's gotta.
It's weird that the sperm is talking, I think.
It is.
In my opinion.
And Sam, that is why the movie implores you as the viewer to look who's talking. But yes. I think what we have here is more of a look what's talking situation.
Look, why is this talking? Look, how?
Why is it talking? How is it look, how's it talking?
Look, who's talking? Like, who and why? What's going on? I don't want to say all the stuff about Albert, the affair guy's wife, having all sorts of mental health problems and physical health problems, but that's all kind of...
Oh, it's played up for you. It's, the golden
Really
era of,
yucks.
my neurotic bitch wife, she's mentally and physically unwell. Oh! I didn't like as well that when Bruce Willis' sperm entered the egg, he kind of, got off, which implied this kind of... he kind of like a cascading orgasm situation on a micro and macro level.
Babushka orgasm where there's sperm inside sperm inside sperm.
Don't like that.
Horrible.
Don't like that. Actually, at all. And I'll tell you what, right? And I only speak for the extremely limited experience that I've had of just my lovely wife and partner Jo being pregnant.
Yes.
But we have noticed in the 9 months since she was in fact pregnant that the morning sickness, it affects different women in different ways. Some people get it extremely badly. Some people get it for a very acute period.
Yeah.
Jo was fortunate in that she had it for maybe only 1 or 2 times where she actually felt that. But she had other symptoms at other different points, at other trimesters. This idea, though, that is perpetrated to this day in all movies and TV, that the second that egg hits that sperm... I don't think it's like that for most. Could be wrong. I don't know. Seems a bit of an exaggeration.
The fetus is now growing. It looks a little bit like it was made by the people who make Labubu. The special effects are a bit rank on that.
I don't like him. I was very taken aback when I saw our first scan of Baby. It was very nice, very personal thing. But I don't know if the attempt was to make it cute here. I feel like you could have just shown an actual sonogram and just voiced over, but having this giant puppet, it kind of upset me. If I'm not lying, it just made me. It seemed like it felt like it was too big. It reminded me of Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, where he scaled everything up in season 2.
Yes,
so he had to make a giant fetus for some reason, and I don't like that. As it grew up, it looked like Philip Seymour Hoffman as well, because it had the kind of... It did, and he's a phenomenal actor, and I know that was an early role from, but even still, it did kind of turn the stomach a little bit.
Yes. The Bruce Willis voiceover stuff is, being peppered in at this point. The doctor massages the belly, and Bruce Willis baby was like, whoa, what's going on?
What's going on? There's a lot of asking about what's going on here, or what's all this then? There's a lot of that. He's simultaneously a very knowledgeable baby because he's like, oh, check it out, it's a hand. Hey, I got 2 of these here. What's that all about? He's on this kind of sliding scale of naivety where it's like. He's like your dad or your uncle in that he has kind of salty world experience, but also everything is new to him at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is been thought too much or too little.
No.
Do you think they let Bruce improv in the booth is what I'm asking?
Probably. You're reminding me of Severance now with the whole they can speak the language, but they don't know the thing. It's interesting. You mentioned the I've got arms. Little Bruce Willis baby in the womb thinks he's growing another arm because his willy is growing. And he says, oh, how the hell am I going to get that in my mouth? And what are we laughing at here? What's happening? What is this? Is that scripted? What the fuck is that?
We're laughing at the idea of a little fetus being frustrated that he can't suck his own penis, which is admittedly a frustration most boys don't develop until mid-teens, thereabouts. Once they hear about Marilyn Manson and having his rib removed on the playground, oh, my mum will never let me do that. So it is interesting, but I will say, when Joe had a scan once and they were showing us all the bits of the scan, and they were like, there's your amniotic fluids there, that's all looking very good. And if you see the black mark there, that's baby's tummy. And that shows there that baby is drinking all of the urine, and that's very good. And she just kind of went on, we're like, oh, that's good. Because you were being reassured, you're like, oh, something's good. Yeah. That's good. And then afterwards, we're like, wait, did she just say baby's drinking her piss and that's good? And and that's what they do. They pee into the amniotic fluid and they drink it back in, and on and on and on. Now, there's been none of that since she's been in our house.
Well, I was going to say, your daughter's Bear Grylls, right? That's what happened there. She's
built to survive, Sam. Is what she is.
A
an absolute thirst
A
for it.
survivalist's thirst. Now, Molly is pretending to everyone else that she was artificially inseminated because she can't reveal that it was this affair.
There is lots of little snippets of, set to talking heads of her going through the typical pregnant lady experience. And I was just laughing my head off at the idea this movie wanted in its mind. It's, it's written and directed by a woman, so obviously they want to try and provide maybe a slightly more authentic, mainstream experience of like, hey, it's like being pregnant. And it was just like quite laughable in some ways. Like the idea of, the worst thing about when you're pregnant is weighing yourself. You're not going to be doing that. Like, if ever there was a time where you can effectively say that the concept of weighing oneself is a bit out the window, it's when there's another tiny human inside you.
You would hope so.
Because they're probably just fat. That's what's happened there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can shift the blame, as it were, Baby's been drinking too much of that high-calorie piss again, haven't they? That's what's going on there. And also, her building this child torture device, this Fisher... I can't believe Fisher-Price, put our name on this thing that looks like it's going to swing down and remove your child's head.
Yes, it was a different time. It was a different time. I do like that Albert says the baby will have your sweet face and my business sense. That's a very sort of apprentice candidate way of looking at it.
Lord Sugar, the reason why you should have my baby, Lord Sugar's next birthing partner continues. Dun, 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 dun. Lord Sugar, obviously I cannot give birth to your child. However, if you look at my business plan, I feel that there are many avenues which we could pursue, such as going to the fun fair together, etc.
This Albert guy's a real piece of shit because Molly's sort of trying to convince him that they should be together and he should leave his wife, and he has moved out and got his own place. But then when she's trying on maternity clothes with her friend, she discovers in the next changing room that he is getting off with yet another woman.
I am quite impressed by the movie for its attempt. It's a good swing at modernity, where it's just like, they do say, hey, if the child's father's a creep and you don't want them, there doesn't, if this was any other time, and I think even movies that have come since then, there would have been some sort of even though he's a creep, he'll be a big part of this baby's life, or they'll get back together, or something like that. And the movie doesn't take that road.
This guy's a creep,
They just continue, and it's like, I was impressed that the movie was full-throated in its implication that the dad could just be a weirdo. Not me, though. I'm great.
Yes. He does have some great lines to justify his behaviour, which this almost felt quite ahead of its time in terms of sort of overuse of therapy language. He's saying, Molly, I know this is awful, but I'm going through a selfish phase right now, so I'm allowed to have an affair because of
I just find it very triggering when I am confronted with the outcomes of my actions. So I'd rather you didn't bring those up in the future.
I'm
Is
sorry
that
if
okay?
you feel that me having an affair is inconvenient for you, but
Sam, look, we'll say it like what it is, right? And I think Albert has clearly gotten your attention. He'd go down a storm and Married at First Sight, wouldn't he?
Oh,
he'd go down a storm.
Yes,
He'd be the lad who only realises on the altar that he's the older gentleman for the season. Wait, what? I thought I was getting a babe.
Oh, the commitment ceremonies. Can you imagine?
More like the lack of commitment ceremony, Sam, in his case, yeah. I just think it was very funny that the baby was like, I want apple juice. No, you don't. You just want piss. You think you want apple juice. It looks like it. It's different, isn't it?
So, Molly is going into labour after all of this hubbub.
She barely looks egnant. She looks like 4 months tops.
Yeah.
Unless it's you or me, like Mr. and Mrs. fucking premature 1988 coming out the womb here. She's barely pregnant looking. Come on.
So, I mean, aside from doing this podcast, how was your wife going into labour experience? What was was it like this? You just get rushed around in a taxi by John Travolta?
No, it was honestly, the biggest frustration about it is that you hear, and I think you only realise that you hear at the moment, so many different things. Because it was always like, X amount of contractions in 5 minutes. Or if it's like contractions that reduce by this amount in this amount of time. So then you look up and it'll be all different NHS trusts or all different websites from all different parts of the world will all say all different things. So we were in this window of like 4 out of 7 places saying you should definitely go in right this second.
Yeah.
Versus the actual place you're going, ringing them up and then going, oh, no, you don't need to go. Yeah, it's twice that, you know? So it was very stressful in as much as we knew it was coming. Like her waters were broke.
Yeah.
We knew she was getting the contractions that most people, if you said to them, hey, this amount of contractions, this amount of minutes, you go, oh, you go in then, right? Even my parents were like, oh, right, you're going in now right? And it was the frustration of waiting around, knowing that there's going to be a little Uber drive with a towel being put down
and this
very
was
shortly.
Off camera in the pre-swirl. That was sort of just the kind of, just
with
over
her
there.
full blessing.
Yes.
Just
Of course.
get it done were her words, I believe. And I was like, thank you, dear. You marry a podcaster, as in I married her, a podcaster, and she knows all about the sweet content, my man.
Yes. If you are wondering why the pre-swirl is sub 9 minutes, that's why, which makes sense.
And it's the thing as well where like we were literally, I think it was 10 in the morning or whenever it was when it started.
Okay.
And then by that time it was like 6 p.m. or whatever it was. So we're like, you know, and then it was horrible as well because she's in like quite an acute, stressful, painful situation.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything because she can't really like move and she can't, you know, go up or downstairs. She's all hungry, you know, and you can't just do anything other than record a really stressful podcast.
But it's great content. It's some of the
Fucking
best
hell,
content.
it is though. Amazing stuff, like, you know?
Fair play. I'm a big fan. So, she gets in a taxi.
A crazy taxi.
A crazy taxi with our boy John Travolta, who kind of looks like a crazy taxi character and drives like a crazy taxi character. Her water breaks in the taxi, and so he's now driving her like through roadworks because it's an emergency, doing spins and stuff.
When you're helping bring a life into the world, legally you're allowed to take a few on the way, because you're about to balance out nature, so to speak. So
yes. Yeah.
If they die, they die. You know, it's okay.
He gets some sick stunt bonuses, which is always important. I'm sure like bumping up and down when there's a woman in labour that's not going to cause any kind of issues, or that's fine, isn't it? You know, that's part of it.
Probably might speed things along, if anything. You know, I would imagine. He's full of advice about Le Mans class and all that shite, you know. And because, of course, we're at the end of Ronald Reagan's era in America, there's all this talk about no drugs in pregnancy. You can't have drugs.
No.
And I'll tell you what, Sam. I'm glad that my baby is cute. Because if this thing came out of my wife, I'd be like, okay. put it back in. It ain't done yet.
Right. Travolta's been bundled into the situation because he's sort of there. So he kind of becomes the de facto dad.
Birthing partner.
The baby is out. So what this revealed to me, Kevin sort of shielding his eyes from this baby, that all of the talking, the look who's talking, is actually internal monologuing that only we can hear.
Yes, and the baby as well, assumedly.
The baby
and other babies.
Well, that gets really confusing later on.
It's very confusing.
I thought, my assumption, we would have had time to go into this in the pre-swirl, my assumption was that the baby would be actually chatting to the adults, would be having a full conversation.
To make an adult reveal the response, look who's talking, it's the baby. Instead, it's like, look, I don't care who's talking if they're not an adult because I don't notice.
And Molly has a sweet moment with Mikey, the baby, where she's like, oh, so you're the one who's been kicking me. It's quite sweet. And he's like, well, you ate all that spicy food. And it's
you're the one who's been jamming jalfrezi up my ass. Come on, lady.
She can't hear that. So they're not actually sort of directly interacting. Other babies in the ward have also got their own internal monologues.
Yes.
There is, I think, an Indian baby talking about being reincarnated, doing a sort of Apu from The Simpsons voice. Not great. There's a lot of sort of stuff where I'm like, oh, this really all feels quite...
The babies look exhausted, and assumedly because of lax child labour laws, they're allowed to shoot around the clock with these children. I think it's like in The Sims 1, they're classed as furniture, not as human beings, so you can kind of get an extra shift out of them and no one really cares. But the babies look like they're really like, they're done for. And there's a lot of things here that I thought were like, you know, I've got baby baby dad instincts now kicking in.
Yeah.
Baby talking about sucking their thumbs. They don't do that till 6 weeks. Baby being sad because they've got mitts over their hands. I think the first time I saw our baby go, ooh, other than being on her mother, was when she was put into her little snuggle suit and she put her hands on her face and she was like, oh my God, I'm tactily obsessed.
That's the first time she'd... Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it?
She likes nice things.
We all do.
I know.
Yeah.
I think she gets that from me and Joe.
Liking nice things.
We like nice things as well. Yeah.
It'd be difficult if one of you liked horrible stuff, but both of you like nice things, so that's all kind of worked out.
I like as most as well about the baby is that when I hold the baby, I become instinctively extra Irish. I'm like, no. Huh? What's she doing there now?
Well, I've got a controversial question. British baby? Question mark?
Dual citizenship baby.
Nice. Okay,
good. You can come out of the union. You can come back in. It doesn't matter. She's got 2 passports. I have to go into a special Irish website for her.
Does she actually have 2 passports?
She will. Yeah,
that's cool.
Her mother is extremely jealous. In her words, why did I marry you if I don't get an extra passport? And I'm like, you fell for my trap.
So, Molly, having had the baby, says she's going to find the boy the best dad. She's going to find a father figure for this boy. John Travolta shows up at her apartment
with a Subway sandwich and a couple of coffees. You know what, Sam? I'll tell you, if anyone's coming around to our house to visit,
go a long way.
It'll go a long way, you know? Unless because, we have no sandwich, we have no coffee. It's just like, show up with something, you know? Billy Keeble will be coming to visit, and he said that he will bring a bag of groceries.
What will be in there?
The ultimate mystery box. I'm not through need of the groceries, it's through the desire to have someone looking out for you.
Yeah.
So, he's passing with flying colours so far.
Okay. I'm now noting down Subway sandwich, coffee. That'll probably do.
And if you want to smoke some cigarettes like John Travolta, the baby's partial to Marlboro Reds.
The Bruce Willis baby seems to like Travolta.
Because he's a guy like him, you know?
Yeah, just a couple of guys hanging out.
Hollywood royalty all look out for each other, Sam, you know?
Guys being dudes. He says the baby looks quite stoned. I am inclined to agree with him a little bit. The baby does look a bit wide-eyed and sort of out of it.
It's a weird baby. Look, you can't take it from me. I've already asked Sam twice to cut out stuff where I'm talking about how ugly every baby ever except for my baby is. But this baby is like fucking weird looking. These big weird freak eyes on it. Like looks like it's been given Mr. Burns' stimulant, you know?
Yes, yeah.
They've had to goose this baby with something to get a couple of these takes, I think, you know? Whoa, get the IV out. We're rolling here. Come on, get the IV out.
Travolta's been quite charming with the baby. And you can see from a mile off where this story is going. You kind of know what's happening here.
He's going to steal the baby, isn't he?
Well, I mean, that is sort of part of it. There's little montages of baby being looked after.
The baby looks like J.K. Simmons when he cries.
He does. When he does cry, Molly brings the bottle. So he's like, oh, if I cry, I get a bottle. I could get used to crying.
Yeah, very good. Sam, let's talk safe sleeping, why don't we? What you have constructed there, twofold. Number one, that's a baby death machine you've got in house, not a crib. With all of your loose bits and bobs, your
here comes Mr.
giant
Expert.
toys.
Now you've had a daughter. You're like, I know this.
Now you've had a daughter and your daughter's alive. You think you're an expert on living daughters. Aren't you? Just saying, if it looks like if it falls over, it would kill them, it probably will. And that crib is stuffed to the gills, to the brim, with death traps.
Kevin, no matter what Keir Starmer says, if I want to lay my baby down on a bed of nails, I will, and that's the British way, and you can't take that away from me. She likes it. She's comfortable.
Well, sure,
Thank
with
you.
Keir, you're not even allowed to have babies anymore.
Well, no.
He's done away with that, hasn't he? You know? What he wants us to fucking have instead is bread. Is that it? Ridiculous. It's politicised me in a way I didn't think possible, Sam.
No.
And that's why Reform have my vote this election cycle, to be honest.
Classic.
As a father and an immigrant.
Well, there's no way you're voting for two beer here. Like, that's not happening. No way. Right. So...
Sir Beer Korma, strikes again. Also, as well, if your baby's flat on their back and they're like, I'm hungry, and you go, oh, okay, and they're lying down and the bottle is perpendicular to the body, you are just making a sick factory. That's all you have there. You're going to make a fountain feature of white.
Yes. Can I just add on to something? I'm so sorry your wife had to go into Keir Starmer's labour to have this baby. That's a shame.
Although it was really exciting when she was in labour that he was on the bubble, because there was all this like, oh, he'll be like, will baby be born long enough to witness the last dying days of a Keir Starmer premiership, or will West Streeting take the mantle for another ill-fated premiership? Could you imagine him being prime minister? Hilarious.
Yeah, little stuff of looking after the baby, crying, all of that.
But it feels like the movie at this point is like. It feels like they don't reckon there's enough material there in just, it's a baby and you're looking after it, hey, because after a montage, she goes out dating, and it feels like the movie would much rather be just another romantic comedy at this point,
well, Yeah, it feels like it is a sort of middling romantic comedy, but it has this little layer on top of it that must have been done after the edit for the most part, where Bruce Willis has sort of come into a booth and just recorded some
bits.
semi-improv. Because it's like...
But the baby stuff, for me, with the baby in the house, I'm like, that's the bit I like. Her going out on a bunch of dates where it's like, can you believe this guy's cheap? Or can you believe this guy's an asshole? Like, I feel like her having a talking baby is surplus to requirements in those scenes.
Yeah, so, right, either have this sort of okay romantic comedy or have the talking baby movie... But this is kind of neither. It's sort of...
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
mess.
It's
not confident in itself, Sam, as much as it is.
No, and I, given the kind of... I mean, this was a massive thing. I sort of vaguely remember the kind of... this being a big thing that people knew about.
It got spin-off TV series.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's not. It's just a bit... The baby talking stuff has the vibe of like a... early YouTube video, like, you got to see this guy. He's gone in and he's like dubbed over what the baby would be saying.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? I'm a fucking baby. Hey, don't date John Travolta, mom, you fucking bitch. What the fuck? This crazy video. Have you seen it? This crazy video. I think the baby was changing scene to scene, but I looked it up. It was the same baby. Was
it?
Yeah, it was. I just think the drugs they gave the baby had different effects at different times of day, different volumes, different strengths.
Yeah.
So she works out a quid pro quo with John Travolta. I will help you gain a residency here so your dad could go into this your granddad could go into this nursing home nearby, and you will babysit my child. And I think the first scene where John Travolta is meant to babysit the child, he immediately absconds with this child, takes him away on a crazy taxi adventure.
To an airport where he himself, it turns out, is a flight instructor. But that's not where you want the kidnapped baby to be going, is to somewhere where the baby could be put on a flight and taken out of the country.
Baby, like most Americans, hasn't got a passport. So
no, sure.
That's one of those things I always hear, and I always want to say on a podcast, because I know if we have American listeners, as we do, many of our listeners are American.
Yep.
That feels like something that is said that's not true. And I've been waiting a decade of podcasting for an American to be like, actually, 3/4 of us have passports. That's a lie.
It's the same as the foreskin thing, really, in that country. It's
right?
Yeah, like most of them don't, but, some of them
You can have one or the other. You can't have both. Because I'm American.
I went through security, I whipped my dick out, and they said, on your way, off you go.
And I'm not going to stamp it for you. Oh, we left the EU so we could have blue dicks again. It's true what they say, Sam. Having a child will change you.
Yes.
Anyway, these babies love breasts.
There's some titty jokes. There's, Bruce Willis baby sees a woman's breast and like, whoa, I didn't realize these came in different sizes. Oh, jumbo titties. Lunch. And it's, a bit...
It's funny, isn't it? Because obviously an adult being sexually attracted to a child or a baby is grotesque, but a baby being attracted to an adult is a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of fun, and particularly when it's written by an adult do a quick check on them. So I'll tell you what, there's something here that I did relate to massively, and I was like, good on you, Kirsty. You portrayed this well.
Yeah.
The first few days after baby came home, this is exactly me. Waking up from a nap and immediately being like, no.
Sure. Yeah.
My first 2 naps that I had after we brought baby home, I thought that the baby was gone and my wife was gone. I didn't know where I was. Did I dream having a child was the recurring thought that I had. Oh no, I've gone mad and I don't have a child was also the tag partner of that.
Sure.
And the last 2 or 3 days, that settled into a nice restful slumber instead. But so her being like, but at least John Travolta didn't kidnap my baby.
No. Not yet. What a horrible thing to say. That we won't do that.
But sure, with Keir, like he'd have your baby kidnapped, wouldn't he? Though Keir, that's what he does.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Too queer Keir, we call him, because he wants to take all your babies and make them gay. That's probably what he'd be doing, isn't it?
Probably. No, and Molly is furious when she gets back, and baby's been kidnapped by John Travolta.
Yeah, she gives him the business.
There's a bit where she's trying to like hit him with a broom or something, and then she gets a splinter. Now there's a little bit of kind of cheeky, bawdy seaside humour here. She gets a splinter. Her mum is in the room next door, kind of listening in, and as John Travolta's trying to help get the splinter out, she's like, "Ow, it's big. I've never had one that big in me." And he's like, "Well..."
You have to laugh, ladies and gentlemen, though, don't you? You have to laugh. Little bit of blue. You can do a bit of blue in a PG movie. It's absolutely fine.
Yes.
I didn't like this. The baby is grown up and is like apparently 1, but looks like fucking 6.
Flash forward. We're kind of moving on in time. Baby's
not interested.
Older now.
It's true what they say. Enjoy it while it lasts. No.
Yeah,
that's how you can tell, by the way, if you've hit the benchmark of being a happy new parent, where people start going, well, enjoy it while it lasts.
Because it will go wrong. Like, it's not going to be...
You say no literally anything.
Don't
Some
enjoy it.
one's saying to you, enjoy it while it lasts. Like, what? You enjoy your fucking life while it lasts. Like, you can say about anything. Enjoy that Papa John's dip while it lasts. That's why I ordered 8. Yo, bag. Have I told you about the secret for getting enough Papa John's Warhammer paints?
No, please tell me.
If you order at least 5 in my place, to go, oh, fucking fine then. They'll give you a whole bag. They're like,
right.
You must love it. So at least give you a whole
sarcastic
bag.
amount of...
And
Papa
if the
John's
regional manager for Northwest Papa John's comes down to the Swinton branch, they're going to not balance those books. Where's it going? It's the mafia infiltrated this branch. What's happening?
And that'll be your fault. So enjoy it while it lasts, because...
And well, enjoy this podcast episode while it lasts, because it'll be over before long.
It will be.
This, unlike many other things in life, isn't eternal.
No. Molly, she's being set up on more dates. She's set up with this guy who comes in, sits with Mikey, the baby. The guy keeps changing the channel.
What
Bruce
an
Willis'
asshole.
internal monologue is like, hey, no, I want to watch my fucking kids' stuff. Travolta turns up to babysit. He starts immediately sabotaging the date by telling this dweeb, like, oh, this broad, she hates chivalry.
This bra-burning bitch, she wants you to...
Don't pay for anything.
Don't pay
hold
for
any
anything.
doors.
No matter what.
Yeah, you can't do anything these days.
Also, he's bald as well. He's like, hey, look at you little dickless bastard. And you know what? I was happy to see this man, who looked definitely better bald than with the toupee, being like, hey, it looks better. It's a nice little happy ending as opposed to...
Because I thought that the way that would have gone is like, you know, Mikey rips the toupee off. This guy's like, no, runs out the door, falls over, trousers fall down, like that, and that's the end of that. Like it's done before he even started.
And then the camera pans over to John Travolta. He goes, "What a fucking asshole! What a bald prick!"
Oh,
and the baby's like, "You tell him, Dad."
Yeah, they're a cute little team.
They're a little team. They are very good.
It's nice.
Good chemistry.
You know, this schmuck, he absolutely fumbles the date. He does all of the stuff he was told to do. The plan essentially works.
And this scene here, while she's having her date, Travolta's playing with the kids. I can't wait to play. I came to play. I think I'm very good at playing. I've literally not had I've not played really in I guess around 30 years or thereabouts. So it'll be a good bit of fun to do that. But look, it's what you realise, Sam, in this modern era when you're going out and dating, it's a cash business. And unfortunately, John Travolta's funny little jape means Kirsty is tapped out at the end of this.
Yes, she does get back, and Travolta and the boy are fast asleep on the sofa. Again, maybe not the safest thing in the world.
Absolutely not. You can have a rest with your baby on you if there's someone else watching vigilantly, and we have done that, but again, vigilantly. Otherwise, look, this movie's just like a guidebook on how to avoid SIDS. Just don't do what any of these people fucking do at any point in time. I was very alarmed by how silent the child was, because obviously they want Bruce to monologue, so this child has to be like...
Yeah.
So he makes no gurgles, no noises, no nothing. Now, baby is only a week old, and baby's already making all sorts of bleh,
Well, I mean, you can imagine this is Kevin's child, so there's going to be some real noises coming out.
Great. Yeah. Etc. Making all sorts of fun noises. And like, I don't think there's going to be anything as terrifying to me than if the baby was silent. Least of all, when the baby is this is not a baby. This is a fucking... This kid could be going to school, the look of them, with their fucking trousers and their laces on their shoes and their 10-speed mountain bike that they've got, like, come on.
Yeah. So, the next scene, after this tender thing where she's like, oh, they fell asleep and puts the blanket on him, we get Saturday Night Fever music.
Very good.
Which is interesting because we've got Travolta, but he's not in this scene. Okay, we need to figure out the rules of this world and the talking.
This is weird. We got a lot of new lore at once. Like the Bible for baby speaking expands exponentially here. Now, first and foremost, the idea that I have to stop my baby who can't speak to anyone every 5 seconds if they see the baby so they can magically telepathically communicate, that's bullshit. I'm going to the shops. I'm not stopping for no one. Secondly, the fact that they have to like have their lips move, kinda.
Yeah, their mouths move.
Like it's homeward bound. They catch a dog going, oh, and they're like, hello.
So the children sort of mouth along to what's being said.
Don't like it.
But not enough. But they're all able to telepathically communicate with other babies / toddlers their age.
And it's just so they can do small talk. That's it. That's so they want to do small talk. It's why we have YouTube slop now. That's for stuff like this.
This sort of thing, right, is fine when it's an advert for yogurt or something and it's a laugh. They're like, oh, the babies are chatting, great. When it's a film, you've got to think this through and what it means and why it's happening, because I don't understand what this means.
Fatherhood and there being a literal baby in the room while this movie was on provided no extra context for this, Sam. So don't worry, you're not being left out in the cold.
Your baby might have been getting telepathic communications from babies in the film. Like there might have been some kind of cursed baby communication.
Should turn to the baby and be like, the cultural attitudes depicted in this movie were wrong then and they're wrong now. I'm simply showing this as an artifact of the time. That's all.
I'm saying, I don't understand the rules of the universe, and and it's not in a fun way where it's like, oh, let's solve this mystery. It's just like, fuck it, you've got to just accept it and move on.
We're talking about things that we don't like and don't want to accept, but are made to. Don't like ma'am doing a sexy dance for their child while they're feeding them.
No.
Don't like it.
No.
It's inappropriate.
No.
I'm telling. Child Protective Services. We find out that Granddad's moving out of his cushy post-retirement living space because he is, I don't know, going kind of crazy, it seems, down there at the lake. He's attacking nurses and staff, all that type of stuff. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's a B-plot that's not very fun, let's just say.
No. So, James is John Travolta is James. He's a flight instructor. He wants airtime, but he doesn't have loads of money.
He wants quality time.
Yes,
so
and he likes getting stuff for free. He's ambitious but humble. Molly goes flying with him.
I know, honestly.
Who's looking after the baby? Doesn't matter. But
doesn't matter. Well, yeah. I'm happy with him being like Mr. Thrifty. I would assume I would class both of us as being Mr. Thrifty as well.
Thank you.
And I'm actually even fine about Kirstie Alley's character being snobby about people being thrifty because that means we'll have to fight less for the Too Good To Go boxes because people like her think they're too good to get them.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
More yellow labels for me, Kirsty.
Yes, please.
Now, they have a lovely day. They share a smooch. They have sex. But yeah, she does get
Premonition.
a premonition. She's picturing the future, imagining that they have no money. It's very Simpsons, I wash myself with a rag on a stick type stuff.
Absolutely.
And then he, at the end of this premonition, he's just belching, like he's like just burping constantly, as if that's like the worst case scenario. It's like a man who doesn't have money and just keeps burping. Now, I'm inclined to agree with the burping bit. I think burps are worse than farts, in my opinion. That's in terms of what is pleasant to hear.
Oh my God, Sam.
near.
One smells of shit, the other one comes out your mouth. Pick a side, like, you know? I know, I realise that we're like picking between political candidates, it sounds like we're saying here, which is the least objectively awful thing. But it's
I'm
right in your
voting for
face,
farts.
and it's hard.
I don't like either, to be clear. Just to be clear,
No one
on the
likes them.
internet here. I don't want either.
They are funny, though, aren't they?
They are, well, so farts are funnier. I
But
think
farts can also be less funny. No one's ever left the room because of a burp. There. An evening has never been ruined because of a burp.
no.
Ambiance has never been ruined because of a burp.
No,
a
it has.
meal
It
has never
has.
been ruined. Okay, but a meal has never been ruined because of a burp. A fart can ruin a meal. I'm not saying it's happened to me, but it
No,
could.
but it can. It is possible. Sure.
I have farts in me right this second that I know are event enders. They'll put a button on any scene that you have me in. If you want the scene to end, I can make it end.
Good to have an out, isn't it?
It is. Sorry. TV license, man. Out you go. See ya. Bye.
So Molly, she's got to work with Albert again, the affair guy,
Yeah, got to do his taxes.
and he is calling the baby the wrong name.
Doesn't this guy have to pay child support? What's going on? Are there no rules if it's in an affair?
I don't. Well, is it on the books that he's not registered as the father anywhere? So I don't know
that's
if they
true.
know officially. He wants to
careful
see
with
the
that.
kid though, so he turns up to the apartment.
Yes, they have a confrontation like in Les Mis.
Yes, and you know, to be fair, John Travolta was asking him all the important questions like, what's the baby into? Can the baby communicate telepathically with other babies?
Yeah, you already
voice
have
of
the
the
upper
baby?
hand there. You don't need to. He starts fighting him as well. It's like you've already made your point.
Actual
He's like,
physical
fucking
fight.
motherfucking phony. I'm going to kill you in front of this child right here.
Molly and James, John Travolta, they have an argument.
Boom! Big fight, catastrophic. Because if you've been led to believe like it's artificial insemination, and then all of a sudden it's someone else, oh, you're gonna have a fight. Anyway, she says that he's a bum.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I know you think he's a bum, but in that fantasy you had about him, he was objectively hot while he was dressed up as a bum.
He was,
and also, the two of you couldn't keep your hands off each other in that scenario. You were
No.
both kind of like really like hot for each other and sexy and all that. So, what's the problem?
And he's putting in the work. Like, he's maybe not doing it brilliantly, but he is showing up for that child on a pretty constant basis. He has kind of forced himself into the situation.
Thank you for showing up and forcing yourself into the situation today. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But he has a little heart-to-heart with the boy because he's like, I'm not going to see him anymore. He has a chat with the boy. And it's kind of, again, very of the time. It's like, yeah, my old man always told me never hit a girl unless, even if she's asking for it.
And she's like,
and everyone's like, oh.
He's a good
He's not
guy.
going to instruct the child on how to commit abuse. What a sweetie.
Yeah, she's listening via baby monitor, and she finds it very romantic that he has been taught not to hit women, which, it is good, but not, they do have a kind of charming conversation, him and the baby, even though he can't hear what Bruce Willis is saying back to him. After that conversation, Molly tries to, I think, put him in an outfit or something, and baby Mikey, voiced by Bruce Willis, uses the R word.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
And I was like, oh, that was
And that's why all the people are saying we're going to start saying the word again. It's because when you're born, it's one of the words you telepathically say quickest. It's part of our nature, And I tell you what, there's never been quite the rumble of people saying, oh, we're going to be saying this word. Going to be saying that around the dinner table. When I'm saying grace, I'm going to be saying, when the father's doing the
grace, I'm going to be saying
when the father's doing the homily, we're going to be saying that. You're going to be saying that at funerals. You're going to be saying at my anniversary.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the 9 o'clock news. Where is it?
People are in a real rush to Say it.
You know what, Sam? It's a whole lot of people who were called that word, who were waiting for their turn to call other people that word, and they never got it. I hear ya. I know you're disappointed, but stop being such a little bitch about it. Look, there's so many words you can say.
Yeah.
Get over it, like.
Come on.
You know what? I swear, when I was in my final year of university, right? So this would have been 2009 or 10. Mm-hmm. It was when the kind of campaign to end that word started gathering speed.
Sure.
And I was like a 20-year-old at the time, edgy 20-year-old or whatever. And a nice lady came in and was like, "Hello, everyone. I'm from this society, and can you stop saying this word, please? Because it's not nice, and people don't like it, and it's led to like kind of ingrained bullying and blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
I remember we were like, "The fuck? Someone tells you can't fucking say the fuck." And do you know what we did? 20 minutes later, we got over it. And there's people twice our age who have dedicated their whole lives to this. Come to bed, dear. No, I want to say it. Just say it then. Scream into the abyss, you stupid little idiot.
It was just a real surprise to see a baby voiced by Bruce Willis saying that.
Look, I'm not voting for this guy if I can't have a beer with him. Also, I don't think he'd say that word with me in a moment of confidence. I can't vote for him.
Someone on Question Time, like, Mr. Starmer.
Mr. Starmer. Well, obviously, in 99% of occasions, we shouldn't say the word. But obviously, I've said the word myself many times. I have been called it as well. It's a terribly funny word.
Right. That was a bit of a surprise. Albert, a fair guy, just a real piece of shit, just like a bad guy. I can't remember why I wrote that down, but he's just...
It's because they go to his apartment, which is Fraser's apartment, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Full of trinkets and bullshit, a.k.a. what men collected before Funko Pops.
Yes.
And, someone please think of the landfills. And he's like really shit because the baby's like, "Hey, I'm a baby. I'm going to do a poo." And he's like, "Well, don't do it in my house." And it's all of 10 minutes in there before Kirsty realizes that lad's simply too neurotic to be a dad.
Yes. Yeah, he's not the guy.
If Albert had a bit of skin to skin, this wouldn't have happened.
No. So, John Travolta's father, Grandpa Abe Vigoda, he's been attacking the staff at the nursing home. He's confused.
This is so wild, this bit, right? Because we're told that he's been abusive to staff. He gave a nurse a black eye, and then they're like, whoa, we can defuse the situation. He had too much candy. That's all that happened. And they're like, oh, he had too many bars.
Fine.
That's fine. He can stay. Miss Nurse, you're fired.
Well, Molly goes in to sort of look after him and defuse the situation and solve everything.
Like a family.
The grandpa's like, you're so nice. This is why James loves you so much. And
this is why he loves your telepathic baby so much.
Yes.
Because of stuff like this.
Then Grandpa loses the baby. The baby's gone missing. Baby's trying to find James because he sees a taxi, thinks it's...
This is good hijinks, this. This could be the basis of a whole movie, which I'm pretty sure is basically the basis of Baby's Big Day Out. Where, and I'll tell you what, so I didn't think I'd be praising this movie for. The chase scenes are great.
They are quite good, actually. Yeah,
they're good car chase. As I get older, I appreciate the simple things in life, and a good car chase shot in nice bright day, no zipping around, nothing that's shite.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, he gets in a car that's being towed, so he's like pretending to drive in the car. They're chasing after him.
Oh, that's every child's dream, isn't it, Sam? I
would have fucking loved that. To get in one of those cars that's being towed by a truck.
Pretend to drive.
And to
oh my God.
have the steering wheel. What a dream.
It's being given a PlayStation controller that's not plugged in with the volume turned way up.
Yeah. I would have loved it. He ends up in traffic, just standing in traffic, running towards them. James manages to retrieve him. A massive pile-up is caused, but we don't worry about that.
Doesn't matter, the child is safe.
There's not a scratch on the baby. He says in his head, in his, Bruce Willis voice, I want James to be the daddy. And then, with his real child voice, says Dada. And so that does it. That's conclusive.
Family join up, we get a kiss. Moment to spoil by playing Pete Townsend. What can you do?
Sure. And then we end on a sort of... We see the sperm floating around at the end. I assume that means these guys are fucking, or...
Sequel.
Right. Well,
Woo!
Yeah.
I think you and I had very different experiences with this, because this is the first movie I watched with my baby, and the first piece of content that I watched with my baby that I got to review for a podcast. She has seen a lot of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Me and Joe have been watching that a lot recently, so obviously that takes precedent.
Yeah.
I had probably one of the best times you could possibly imagine. We were all cuddled up on the couch. She's very sweet. She's very good. I love her, and I loved having this experience with her.
Yeah, we're not reviewing your child, mate. Come on, we're...
No, this is the reverse Swirl. So what did you think of... Because I think, honestly, without that, this movie's probably kind of crap, right? And why did I like it as a child myself? Who knows?
Well, there is novelty in... Oh, the baby's getting a chance to say something and talk.
It's time for the kids to take over.
Yeah, us here at Kids Zone are going to take over the airwaves now. But it wasn't that. They did, to me, they had an opportunity here and they did the bare minimum with it. I don't really think Bruce Willis voicing over... Because there's some bits where he's in the booth clearly responding to what the baby did on set. On camera, like sometimes the baby like grabbing something. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to go grab this." Oh,
but it's just him muttering to himself.
It doesn't add anything, I don't think. Really, like
it was an easy payday for Bruce.
Oh, the easiest, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like it's really woven into the script much, so it doesn't influence the story in any real meaningful way.
An alternate cut of this without the baby's narration, I think,
would be an okay rom-com. Like,
yeah. Serviceable.
This was not what I expected. I thought this was going to be like, baby gets born, and he's like, "Hey, about time," and the parents are like, "What? Look who's talking! This is crazy."
Yeah, it's quite low stakes for the parents when you think about it. I have to shout out John Travolta, who obviously most recently we saw him in Gotti and then also The Fanatic. It is nice to be reminded that he is a charming man once upon a time, a handsome, charming man, no less.
Wickedly talented, one and only. Yeah,
wickedly talented. So he showed a little something here. He was very, very serviceable as a charming lead in a rom-com.
I thought both lead performances were good. I thought
Kirstie Alley was very good. Yeah, she's very good as a lead. I thought they were both, like, they could have made this movie so much less enjoyable if they had just put in a couple of hunks who did. They both have comic timing, and Travolta with the child as well was, as a father, Sam, you notice these things.
Sure. Yeah. Speaking as a dad, I know.
Speaking as a dad.
Yeah.
But speaking as a Sam, what is your star wipe rating for Look Who's Talking?
The child wasn't talking. The child was internal monologuing, and the film's not called Look Who's Got an Internal Monologue, is it? It's called Look Who's Talking, and the child wasn't fucking talking.
Fair.
I was missold a bill of goods here. And I didn't get... No, look, it's a serviceable, fine, quite funny in parts, quite outdated in other parts, rom-com.
It won't have its second day in the public eye, I don't think. I don't think people are like, remember this movie? No. Nah, I think it's done, yeah.
No, there's a lot with it that you wouldn't really fondly look back on. The baby talking stuff doesn't add anything, I don't think. To me, it wasn't charming or funny enough. I imagine maybe for like parents at the time, that sort of shit would have gone down an absolute storm. And maybe because I've seen, what was the Aardman thing where they like had conversations that children were having and they made plasticine stuff?
Oh, anyway, yeah.
It had a feeling kind of like that it's just sort of responsive. Oh, I don't know. It just, to me, this was a bit flat. I'm really happy that you've had a kid like that. That's great, and I feel like
Sam, I want to go cuddle her. Give me a rating already. Come on.
But this episode we'll always remember as the one where you had a baby. Well, Joe had a baby.
Joe had the baby. Yeah,
let's be honest. So I think Look Who's Talking. I'm going to give it 2 star wipes.
You heard it here first. I'm coming, baby.